Well, good morning, everyone. Third time's a charm. That's what we're hoping for here. I'd recorded a couple times previously, and I don't know if it's my technology or my lack of, I should say, or if it's just this good internet service we get out here on Turkey Branch. But nonetheless, we're going to be persistent and start again. But we're going to be talking today about some of the things that the Lord had given us on Sunday and the message on truth and grace. And this morning we're going to just talk about truth. And that's what I've entitled this one, just truth. So we can call this Truth Thursday. Let me present my screen here. And in talking of truth, John 8:32, it says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And, when we gave some definitions there Sunday on truth, one thing I don't think that I shared that I wanted to, but is this quote I found from John MacArthur. It says, "Truth is that which is consistent with the mind, will, character, glory, and being of God." In other words, that is who Christ is. It is consistent. We say God is love, but we would be equally as correct by saying God is truth. It says even more to the point, truth is the self-expression of God. It is the biblical meaning of truth, because the definition of truth flows from God. Truth is, let me move my thing here, but truth is theological, okay? And so again, when we start looking at it of exactly what truth is or who truth is, we could say that it's not what is truth, but who is truth. And truth is God. Truth is God. Everything about God points to truth. He is just. He is love, obviously, as we said. But everything about him points to the characteristics of what truth is. And of course, we live in a world that wants to distort truth. A lot of times we look at truth as a sliding scale to fit whatever the needs we need it to meet are. But Christ is truth, and he is that beacon, that stationary thing that does not move, as far as in his character. He is very true to the point of what truth is. So when we look at it, then we ask ourselves the question, are we full of it? And we mentioned that a little bit Sunday, but are we distorting the truth and the grace of God? And, I feel that one of the biggest problems that people have with Christianity today are Christians. Christians who want to distort, or who do distort, maybe unknowingly, or maybe just out of habit. We distort the truth and the grace of God. Either we are concrete and just want to be truth all the time, and like to do a lot of looking down our noses or wagging our finger at people, and say, well, this is right, and this is wrong, and this is right, and this is wrong, and that is great. We need to stand for what is true. But we also have to do it with grace. This is not a competition. It's not my opinion versus everyone else's opinion, or our opinion, or the church's opinion versus everyone else. Our opinion has nothing to do with this. It's all about what God's word says. And since God is truth, we've got to make sure that we share his truth the way he shared his truth. And we talked there in John 1:14, and we said that Jesus came full of truth and grace. And we said grace saves and truth frees. And Christ could have contained no more truth, and it could contain no more grace. He was full of both of those. And so my prayer for us today is that we will be full of those, that we will be, as our name says, Christ-like. And I put this Jeepology here by Bob Goff, and we've talked about this, and so has some of the other ministers when we was covering that book. But he talked about his old red Jeep that he had, and it leaked out oil everywhere he went after he flipped it, and it threw him out of the top of the Jeep coming home from church service one time. And, and my prayer is that we, like Bob's old Jeep, will leak a little truth and a little grace everywhere we go. My prayer for myself is that Jason will be more apt to spread truth and grace, not opinion and judgment, but the love of God. And we find the love of God both in truth, and we find the love of God both in grace. Okay. And I know Brother Sean often will lead, when he covers and does devotions, he will leave us with a song. I want to leave us with a little bit of lyrics here as well. This comes from Matthew West's Truth Be Told, and I think it sums up a lot of us. We looked at today as far as the truth and Christ being the truth. But one of the ways in which we can be truthful and lean into the truth is with ourselves. And this is lie number one. You're supposed to have it all together. No, you're not. We live in a fallen world, and we can strive, and I pray that we do, for righteousness and holiness on this side of eternity. But because of the sinful nature, we're not always going to make it. It says, and when we ask how you're doing, just smile and tell them never better. Be honest. That's a time in which we can share a little bit of God's truth with people. How's he doing? I'm struggling. I'm having a rough day. I'm, concerned. I'm whatever. But the grace of God is sufficient, and I know he's got it all under control. Lie number two, everybody's life is perfect except for yours. Number one, in my life, number one thing that the devil used against me in growing up, I kind of developed a complex about it, that everybody had it together. No, Jason never could get it together. But because I met some people who would tell me the truth, they told me of their faults and failures as well, and understand that, we're not alone in this fight. So keep your messes and your wounds and your secrets safe with you behind closed doors. The Bible said, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. So truth be told, the truth is rarely told. I say I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Hey, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken. And when it's out of control, I say it's under control, but it's not. And you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it. When being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fall, no sin you don't already know. So let the truth be told. And then down here at the bottom, we finish with this. There's a sign on the door. It says, come as you are, but I doubt it. Because if we live that way, if we lived like it was true, every Sunday morning pew would be crowded. But didn't you say the church should look more like a hospital, a place for the sick, the sinners, the scarred, and the prodigals like me? And so let's remember that as we go throughout this Thursday, that, Christ is the only one that had it all together. But he is also the truth, and we can rest in the truth. We can find his grace through the truth. And so I pray that we'll go and that we'll share grace with people as well, but don't forget the truth as well, because truth is what will free. Pray you have a blessed day. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.